The meaning of life is that it is to be lived, and it is not to be traded and conceptualized and squeezed into a pattern of systems. The knowledge and skills you have achieved are meant to be forgotten so you can float comfortably in emptiness, without obstruction. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But sooner or later the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. The great mistake is to anticipate the outcome of the engagement. You ought not to be thinking of whether it ends in victory or defeat. Let nature take its course, and your tools will strike at the right moment. The world is full of people who are determined to be somebody or to give trouble. They want to get ahead, to stand out. Such ambition has no use for a kung fu man, who rejects all forms of self-assertiveness and competition. Endurance is lost rapidly if one ceases to work at its maximum. Mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit them. Don't fear failure. Not failure, but low aim, is the crime. In great attempts, it is glorious even to fail. Bruce Lee, American-born actor. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Absorb what is useful. Discard what is not. Add what is uniquely your own. Mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit them. To hell with circumstances. I create opportunities. The successful warrior is the average man, with laser-like focus. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. If you love life, don't waste time, for time is what life is made up of. Defeat is a state of mind. No one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality. A goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. Adapt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. Real living is living for others. The more we value things, the less we value ourselves. Don't get set into one form. Adapt it and build your own. And let it grow, be like water. It's not the daily increase but daily decrease. Hack away at the unessential. The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. Empty your cup so that it may be filled. Become devoid to gain totality. In the middle of chaos lies opportunity. Be self-aware, rather than a repetitious robot. A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer. Always be yourself. Express yourself. Have faith in yourself. The possession of anything begins in the mind. The spirit of the individual is determined by their dominating thought habits. Do not be tense, just be ready. Not thinking but not dreaming. Not being set but being flexible. Take no thought of who is right or wrong or who is better than. Be not for or against. Art calls for complete mastery of techniques, developed by reflection within the soul. Be happy, but never satisfied. A good teacher protects his pupils from his own influence. Life is wide, limitless. There is no border, no frontier. Those who are unaware they are walking in darkness will never seek the light. Preparation for tomorrow is hard work today. Man, the living creature, the creating individual, is always more important than any established style or system. Notice that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. All knowledge leads to self-knowledge. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations, and you're not in this world to live up to mine. Take things as they are. Punch when you have to punch. Kick when you have to kick. The mind is like a fertile garden. It will grow anything you wish to plant, beautiful flowers or weeds. Instead of buying your children all the things you never had, you should teach them all the things you were never taught. As you think, so shall you become. Reality is apparent when one ceases to compare. The less effort, the faster and more powerful you will be. What you habitually think largely determines what you will ultimately become. It is not what is put into the mouth that defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth. Boards don't hit back. Do not deny the classical approach, simply as a reaction, or you will have created another pattern and trapped yourself there. For it is easy to criticize and break down the spirit of others, but to know yourself takes a lifetime. When one has reached maturity in the art, one will have a formless form. The great mistake is to anticipate the outcome of the engagement. You ought not to be thinking of whether it ends in victory or defeat. Notice that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. Art calls for complete mastery of techniques, developed by reflection within the soul. For it is easy to criticize and break down the spirit of others, but to know yourself takes a lifetime. To me, the extraordinary aspect of martial arts lies in its simplicity. The easy way is also the right way, and martial arts is nothing at all special. The closer to the true way of martial arts, the less wastage of expression there is. Self-knowledge involves relationship. To know oneself is to study oneself in action with another person. The relationship is a process of self-evaluation and self-revelation. The relationship is the mirror in which you discover yourself. To be is to be related. Everything you do, if not in a relaxed state, will be done at a lesser level than you are proficient. Thus, the tensed expert marksman will aim at a level less than her student. Many people dedicate their lives to actualizing a concept of what they should be like, rather than actualizing themselves. This difference between self-actualization and self-image actualization is very important. Most people live only for their image. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. Make at least one definite move daily toward your goal. The second-hand artist blindly following his sensei or saifu accepts his pattern. As a result, his action, and more importantly, his thinking, become mechanical. His responses become automatic, according to set patterns, making him narrow and limited. Life is never stagnation. It is constant movement, rhythmic movement, as we as constant change. Things live by moving and gain strength as they go. Forget about winning and losing. Forget about pride and pain. Let your opponent graze your skin and you smash into his flesh. Let him smash into your flesh and you fracture his bones. Let him fracture your bones and you take his life. Do not be concerned with escaping safely, lay your life before him. Life is wide, limitless. There is no border, no frontier. A fight is not won by one punch or kick. Either learn to endure or hire a bodyguard. Life is better lived than conceptualized. This writing can be less demanding should I allow myself to indulge in the usual manipulating game of role creation. Fortunately for me, my self-knowledge has transcended that, and I've come to understand that life is best to be lived, not to be conceptualized. If you have to think, you still do not understand. All fixed set patterns are incapable of adaptability or pliability. The truth is outside of all fixed patterns. If you always put limits on what you can do, physical or anything else, it'll spread over into the rest of your life. It'll spread into your work, into your morality, into your entire being. There are no limits. There are plateaus, but you must not stay there, you must go beyond them. If it kills you, it kills you. A man must constantly exceed his level.